Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi. I make a lot of varied content, so most likely whatever you subscribe for, I'll be making more. Unless you subscribe to see me back in the hospital, that's pretty sick. But if you wanted to know, I am completely healed from my food poisoning or gastroenteritis or whatever the frick the sickness was that put me in the hospital last week. But thank you so much for all the kind words and support on last week's video. Without further ado, something else that makes me sick. Segues. All right, YouTube Rewind 2019. What exactly was that? I don't want to be a negative person. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm not trying to be here to be like, oh, it's time to dunk on YouTube. Easy, low-hanging fruit. I'm usually incredibly optimistic. With this year's YouTube Rewind, I was prepared to be amazed. Am I crazy? Am I crazy for thinking it was going to be really, really good just because last year's was so incredibly bad and it was universally disliked, the most disliked video on YouTube that year? It made sense that this year's, the company would listen to everyone and they would fix all the issues and they'd just make a fun, trendy little video. I don't know why. It subverted all my expectations. It's not like it was bad because, oh man, that cringe and oh boy, this was such a waste of money. It was just, they didn't try. So the tone of the video actually started out pretty well, and I was like getting hyped for it because I was like, oh my gosh, they're actually admitting like, you know, last year's was really bad. However, this year's is gonna be a little bit different. You know, the way they said it was, last year you didn't like what we made, so here's what you liked this year. And think about just the phrasing there about how we made something you didn't like, so here's what you liked. I think that's important to consider because I feel like they didn't make anything here. They're just showing us what we liked. So my eyes are open. I'm like, yeah, all right, let's see what I liked. And then we get a little top 10 most viewed creator videos. Cool, actually, that's pretty, you know, bringing it back to the old school first ever YouTube Rewind. I can respect that. Positive note, hell yeah, I'm into that. And then it's top 10 music video. Okay, I can also vouch for that. That's pretty cool. But after this part, that's when the rewind's gonna kick it. No, dance, now it's top 5 dance. Okay, this is cool, and it's cool, I like stats, I'm a mathy guy, I got the degree, you know, math. But after this bit, I assume, is when the rewind, it never kicked in. There's no rewind. I wanna rewind the video, start it over, there's nothing there. It's just a stat list. Are we allowed to be upset at this? Sure, it wasn't as bad in the cringeworthy sense of last year's, but it also wasn't as good, if that makes any sense. It's not as bad, but it's also not as good. Why? There's nothing to like or dislike about this video. They've polished it clean. You can't be angry at stats. Stats are stats. It's not saying anything, it's not creating anything. It's basically like opening a book to the back, to the indices. Ah, there's some tasty stats. Thank you for your, that's not content. They're not making art here. It's just a compilation. It's not better, it's not worse, it just exists. It just doesn't make sense that this type of thing wasn't curated by hand and it was just done by an algorithm, by a robot. That kind of just really drives home the fact that, hey, YouTube isn't people anymore, you know? It is just this computer algorithm that tells us, here is the most liked videos. Because let's just say next year they keep up this same routine and let's just say PewDiePie makes the top 10 most viewed videos of all time. Is it just gonna be 10 PewDiePie videos? Like, that doesn't make sense. Though it would be nice because he got shafted so much in the past, but either way. But just doing it by views, it doesn't feel fun, it feels robotic. So it's quite obvious their main goal with this video was to minimize any possibility of hate and negative reaction towards Rewind this year, which it's very apparent, and to do so, they removed anything from Rewind that could possibly garner a negative reaction, or a positive one, or anyone. You can't really react to stats. There's nothing you can say about that except, oh darn, the top 10 vid, like what, there's nothing to be angry about. You know when you've eaten food that's bland. The definition of bland is having no taste, right? So you shouldn't be able to taste the food at all. However, we distinctly can tell what the taste of something bland is because it tastes of nothing. That is a taste in itself. That was this YouTube Rewind. So here's my thought. Corporate was probably more than pissed and disappointed at the reception of last year's video. Clearly, they're going to try and make sure that happens. So they're sitting around a desk trying to find a way to make a rewind that isn't universally hated. All right, YouTube Rewind, folks, we need some ideas. 2019's just happened. You, shoot. We could parody this music video. No, too risky. We could get some creators together, recount some trends? No, too risky. We could try, make some art, anything. Oh, what if we bring it back to 2014 Rewind? We make a video that's just music video, remixes, dancing, no talking, no pandering, just no message at all. Just rewind, trends, and no, you're right. Too risky. Just show them some statistics. Wait, what was that? People can't get angry at statistics. They're stats. It's in their nature. It's just a fact. Why don't you just throw up a top 10 video? There you go. It's almost so unrisky. It's risky. I mean, you can also probably get advice from creators on the platform. Done. Done? What do you mean done? YouTube Rewind. It's done. What, you made a video with just the stats? No. There's music behind it. Genius. I really don't want to sit here and be negative. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I mean, last year's, there were some positives. They had animators in it. They had the animators in it. It's just that by making this video so corporately clean, so sanitized of any possible negative thing, they've removed anything of substance that could be of worth watching in this video. I believe the reason that my British versus American series historically has done well is because they are my real experiences and my friends' real experiences, or my research and my friends' research. That's what makes it real stuff. If you look for them, there are so many copycat channels out there that all make the same similar content along this similar British versus American vein, where they aren't real. They just read from a BuzzFeed list of repeating the same content ad nauseum, like the top 10 things you should never say to a British person, the top 10 things you shouldn't say to an American person, the top 10 British American, like, you can only make the same video so many times, especially when you're just taking content that other people have made. And I feel like that's a very similar thing with why people are disliking this rewind, because there's no realness to it, because it's just stats. It's just someone's curated list. If this was a hand-curated list by a creator or by someone at YouTube, maybe Susan Wishkiki, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. She was like, hey, these are my favorite videos of the year. Here you go. That would have been better. I know that's weird, but Now I know it might sound crazy, but the whole time I was watching this rewind, I got the sneaking suspicion that maybe YouTube is playing a little prank on us, right? This isn't the real rewind. It's a bit of a weird conspiracy. I'm holding out that this is just a joke because it's so substanceless that this is just to mess with people that are clearly just gonna make a video about how negative this video is and how they don't like it. And then YouTube comes back and was like, whoa, bam, how do you like this? Whoosh, it's like the best rewind they've ever made. I'm holding out. You see, usually YouTube's super proud of the rewind and they change the logo on the homepage to the rewind button to be like, go check out our thing. As of recording this, they haven't done that yet. So maybe they're just waiting for the real one to come out. I do feel like this video would have been a really interesting thing to go along with the actual rewinds. Like maybe if this was a YouTube blog post with here's the top 10 best performing videos in each category. Like that's what this feels like. It just feels like a YouTube blog post, which would have been perfect. I don't think anyone would complain about that, as long as it came with some cool thing. I just really hoped that after all this time, someone at YouTube would understand how to make videos for YouTube. Now, I'm not here to just poop on parades, okay? I'd rather offer suggestions. I really dislike it when people are just like, wah, 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 and that's totally what I'm doing at the moment. I'm going wah. But, suggestion, you got hundreds of thousands of creators. Why not just pick one to host this style? If you want to do here's some stats, have a face. Have someone be hosting it. You know, there's a lot of people to choose from and it'd make it a bit more real. Or at the very least, hire some creators to work on the team behind Rewind. That would be amazing. I mean, even if it was just for consulting or anything like that, the thing is, most likely, any creator that has been disappointed by this year's or last year's Rewind would be more than happy to help make Rewind a good thing. You know why? We love YouTube, okay? We all do love YouTube and we want it to succeed. And so when something like Rewind isn't that great, we're like a bit disappointed because, you know, it's like our good friend of ours that made something poopy. It just doesn't feel good to kick someone when they're down, especially when that someone is someone you've known for 10 years and pays all your bills and has helped create good memories for you, okay? I don't want to kick anymore. The thing is, YouTube is great. YouTube Rewind can be great. We can work together, all of us as creators, I'm sure, and come up with something great. Make YouTube Rewind great again. Because that's the thing, YouTube Rewind wasn't always bad, okay? I'm not trying to be Negative Nancy forever. Like the first one, iconic, genuinely. You had Rebecca Black hosting it, and it was a top 10, similar to this, but at least with a face. And then like there was this golden age of just really cool, showing off the trends of the year and different viral videos and music videos all interweaved. It was great. And then it just got oddly PC, preachy, and just obscure. And I feel like if you just dial it back a little bit, the 2014, 2015 era, I think people would mostly be pretty happy. All YouTube needs to do really is get feedback from creators, help make something together. I'm sure it'll be great. I don't like whining. If this happens again next year, I don't want to have to rewind. But I mean, in terms of positives, no one was upset at their time being wasted only to have like an ear in a shot this year. So that's good. Also, I know it must have cost an insane amount of money production-wise to make the last year's and the year before that. So they must have saved a whole lot of money, which is nice. I feel like this is our fault for really disliking last year's Rewind to the point where YouTube as a company is just scared now to create things for its own platform. But please, art is risk. If you're going to make things, it's going to be risky, but do it. Oh man, just make things. That's my message to everyone, regardless if you're on YouTube. Just make things. Sure, you might be bad, but frick, you can get better every single time you make one. Or in this case, don't make anything at all. But hey, at the end of the day, this is just my opinion. I can only really speak my own truth through this. And why am I talking so much about a video that was uploaded online? Because it used to mean a lot to me. It was always a really cool part of the year to see what happened, and it's not nice to feel disappointed, but maybe you guys disagree with me. I'd love to hear in the comments if you're like, nah, I thought this one was okay. I mean, it was better than last year's. Please leave me a comment below. We'll have a discussion. But also, you can subscribe and ring my bell. I won't hold it against you. Actually, if you don't want to miss any of these uploads that I upload every single Sunday, you please ring the bell. I really appreciate your support. Anyway, thanks for watching. I have other videos over here you can watch if you'd like. Other than that, I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye. Also, yeah, I'm growing my facial hair out, so I'm expecting to hear what people think of that in the comments. I wanted to try something different, okay? Let's go, bye.